Welcome to Bunky's Woodworking.
We are going to be showing you how to go from a drawing to getting it cut on our CNC.
This is just our process. There might be many other ways you can do this.
And now on to the video.
For this video, we are designing a Kleenex box cover. This cover is something of a novelty item that you can set on a living room coffee table or any table where you entertain guests.
So we entered the dimensions that we had gotten from the box into our ViaCad program. And basically I'm going to be making 5 interlocking sides so that the jointing parts, the box joints, will have some dimension or flair to the product itself. Okay, so I start off on the ViaCad. I make a square dimension of the object that I'm trying to make. This is one of the 4 sides on the outside. I'm going to probably do the top last. I go ahead and start making the box joints. I wanted them a lot smaller than the box joints that I used in the past. And later I first set it up so the box joints are 1/4 inch, and then later on in the video I will go ahead and adjust them so they're 1/2 inch. So I went ahead and copied and pasted and got the joints to kind of line up and moved some of the pieces around in order to make everything look nice. And then I start working on the box joints on the top of the project. Now, one of the more interesting things that you can actually do is you can actually take this on ViaCad and copy and print it out to size. So then you don't actually have to have a CNC or anything like that. You can go ahead and print it out to size, glue it up to your material that you're working on, and cut it out with a coping saw or something to that effect. Yeah, the dimensions for the joint on top weren't exactly square, so I just found the center and I ended up just adding the lines on the side in order to make sure everything was even. Now I went ahead and I had made the decision to use 1/2 inch instead of 1/4 inch, and that's what I'm adjusting right now. So in order to make it a little bit easier for me to make the 5th box, I went ahead and entered the dimensions on the top, and I went ahead and added the grooves that I had on the other boxes, which both should be the exact same. But of course you're adding a 1/2 inch to each side, and you're making sure that everything lines up, and you're trying to make it look pretty decent. And I ended up just copying and pasting the one side after I got it done on the other one, and then flipped it around, make sure it fit right. Then I added the hole for the Kleenexes to go in. I ended up trying to decide what I was going to do. So I ended up kind of deciding to make a design on the side, you know, since it is a decorative thing, and I have the ability to go ahead and hit play basically and have it cut out. I was kind of inspired by maybe a compass row like you would see on a compass. Me and my sister, we are big into sailing, or at least I used to be, and it is one of those symbols that are kind of iconic. I put my own little flair to it, made a kind of a 3D-ish looking thing towards the end, but this is basically how I'm making the design, and some of the stuff I kept, some of the stuff I didn't, but basically what I did is I used circles in order to show the exact distance from one side to the other, and then I used a snipping tool basically to cut out the lines that I didn't want out of the project. Started getting a little scared there because it started looking like Captain Marvel's symbol that she has on her chest. After I made some adjustments, it almost started looking like a sun or maybe a star of some sort. But I continued to play with it, and I ended up making it look more like some kind of diamond star or something. Looks kind of beautiful to me. I think it'll look fine. And what I'm planning to do is I'm going to do a follow the path operation where the CNC will cut into the material just barely, and it will just follow those lines. Now, as you saw, I went ahead and copied it, and I kind of rotated the design. Then I looked at it and I wanted to add maybe some more lines to it, which I ended up doing to each one, but it would have been a little bit more smarter if I would have just done everything beforehand.
Once we finalize the design and it is to our liking, go ahead and export it as an TXF file.
Make sure to keep track of where you end up putting your saved file or your exported file. So in here on, just like all technology, it gets out of date pretty quickly. As of the 13th, it looked like I thought that some of the browsers that we were going to be able to use was going to be able to use Flash. But it looks like none of the browsers are going to be able to use Flash unless we go ahead and have a browser dedicated and have an older version of that browser in order to run MakerCam. So me and Aditi, we decided to go ahead and just look up other ways in order to create Gcode online. We ended up settling on a type of program called easel, and it is a pretty nice one. It gives you a nice visual cutout of everything, and we will go ahead and show you that video here in a minute. So in order to get this free resource called easel, you have to get an Inventables account. So once you get your Inventables account, then you can go ahead and use this program that they have online. So I went ahead and imported the DXF file that we had exported in ViaCad, and we are basically adjusting the depth of the cut right now. Now we're adding tabs to the project. And you have to realize when importing this that you're going to import it like cutting it on the line, and then you're going to have to change it to outside cuts for your outside cuts and inside cuts for your inside cuts. For some reason I've had issues importing it like that. Okay, so now you generate your Gcode and you go ahead and bring it over to your CNC. Okay, so right here we go ahead and open the NC file into, or the Gcode file in ground control. You go to Actions, then you go to Open File, then you find your save file, and you open it up and position your home where you want it and hit play. And here's a video of the cut. This was a very quick project. It only took around 35 minutes to cut out. So after we finished cutting, we did a dry fit. We squared up the box joints, did a glue up, filled up any gaps with wood putty. We put a coat of gunstock stain on it, added 3 coats of polyurethane, and the project is now done. Thank you for watching our videos. Please like and subscribe.
While you're at it, please check out our Etsy store. We have provided the link in the description below.